Okay, so it's been a few days. Been doing a few things, waiting on parts mostly. So I did a little cleaning on the engine bay on this thing finally. A lot of you guys are always on me to clean this thing. So we did. It's not perfect, but I mean, light years better than what it was. So we're still waiting on the vacuum pump for this. And then I did get the Vanos solenoid O-rings in. So we'll do that pretty soon. Have to get this thing all tuned up here. So we're gonna jump on that, brake pad sensor, airbag, etc. And I think I actually might drive the E90. It's been sitting back there in the small shop for a long time. I just pulled it out yesterday. You can see her sitting down there. And we might actually drive that with ISTA. And just one last time, give it one more chance, see if we can't sort out anything on it before I buy that engine. So there's a few other things happening here. And I gotta remember to do everything, to say everything on the video. Let's start off with the X5 we pulled out of the shop. You guys seen the last video. It set out one day, now it won't start. Now it's no crank, no start. What's the problem with that? Well, either a couple things that happened to that. We have a mouse problem or a rabbit problem because it did sit outside and it's acting strange. None of the fuses are blowing anywhere. Either the starter is totally dead or we have a mouse problem. And I haven't gone all through the glove box fuses and made 100% sure, but there's no reason why that would be the case, right? Like why would it just randomly blow that the battery wasn't dead at that time to do that? So a few more things here. We have more lights for the shop, those big giant pod lights. Those big giant LED pod lights, we have two in the middle. They're crazy bright, but I bought two more because what we could do when the car's up on the lift over that one, we can't, like you can't see anything under the hood. No worky, right? So I need to deal with more wiring in here. I need to, I'm gonna put one like right here, one like right here, and then one in the back in front of the car. So when we have the hood open, we have light under the hood and we have a lot more even lighting here in general, right? So that'll cover this side. This side is gonna be the mezzanine. Anyhow, there's that. Let me go grab the other thing. Okay, so one of the viewers sent me some new paddles for the M5. Remember the downshift paddle was broken up in here and we had to glue it. It's been working fine. One of the viewers seen that and said, well, I've got these. I just upgraded mine to carbon fiber. Be more than happy to ship those to you. That guy's name is Dwayne. So I'm gonna put a link to Dwayne's channel. He also owns an M5. He has a lot of videos on his channel, some straight pipe videos. He totally straight piped his, and you can see him drive around California with that, which is interesting since California is pretty tough on that. Hopefully they don't see those videos and come down on them, but he should be all right. Thank you again, Dwayne, for sending these paddles. Could not be more appreciated. I think I'm just gonna put them in the glove box for the very time being. That downshift paddle has been doing okay. I expect that to come apart probably when it gets really hot outside with the super glue on it. I'm trying to keep all the parts, all the tidbits in this car so they don't get misplaced around this zoo. And have a little box in the trunk. I have a few little hoses, an extra coil pack, things that we might need on the road if things go bad, if you know what I mean. And that way it's kind of all together. The paddles, we'll definitely keep those on standby. We probably got a few more weeks, maybe another week for that one breaks, to be honest with you. We'll swap those out. It's definitely nice to have a backup set since these are iffy. So I was gonna work on this thing today. There's not really too much interesting. I think what we're gonna do is go ahead and hop in the E90. I'm gonna go out there right now, check the air in the tires. The battery's probably getting low on it. We'll hook the laptop up to it. And we'll see if we can't take it for a drive. Hopefully we can find something out and I don't have to walk back home. So let's do that right now. Seems like this thing's actually running better than it has in a very long time. Let's see if we got a code in the CAS, we got a code in FRM and a code in the DME. Let's just see what's going on here. Okay, so now we're getting code for Vanos intake. Engine switch off time plausibility. Ambient temperature signal, drive motor pivoting. Yeah, so we need to code out those stupid mirrors, the power folding mirrors. So cast supply, it's got some different codes. Cast supply terminal 30E. And crank this baby out and snap a picture of that. And let's see here. I mean, here's where we're at with it. I just scanned it. I didn't have the damn camera. I was on the phone. But we're having intake Vanos codes. So we've already done OEM Vanos solenoids. It did this before and after. Replaced the intake camshaft sensor. So when I go to check it with ISTA, I'm trying to get to come back on now or see what it's going to do. It says that the intake adjustment for the timing is at the maximum. So there's a problem, and even ISTA recommends the cam ledge, the intake cam ledge. Now on N52, like on N54, you can replace the intake and exhaust cams, the ledge box and everything. So we've already replaced the exhaust ledge box on this, and that fixed that ticking problem. But the intake side cam ledge, the half of it's made onto the head, right? So if the cam ledge is scored real bad, and you know it can't adjust the timing enough to compensate what looks like it's probably what it is, I could fix this with a different cylinder head. However, a cylinder head by itself costs more than the whole freaking engine, and we're still getting a little bit of blue smoke here and there. I mean, it's very minor, but I don't know if it's smoking because a ring problem or not. So it leaves you in a weird spot with this. Like, I don't really need a whole engine probably. And when we go to floor it, let's see here. Now it's making power. Now it's making full power, the first time ever. Huh, no check engine light. But let's just keep driving it and see. And what it would do before, it would go into safe mode, just like the M5's doing. And basically the gas pedal doesn't work, right? Goes to half power, engine fails safe. You can't drive it. You get to stop right in the middle of traffic, right in the middle of the road, turn it off, start it back up. And last time it didn't want to start very quickly. So this car just kind of deemed like scary to drive at this point. And the M5 is kind of the same way, but in a different sense, I guess. It'll still do that crap with that secondary vacuum pump issue. So I don't know. We'll be back here in a second. Let's get rid of the old beans here. Let's see if it's going to bog or what it's going to do. Oh, we got full power, boys. If I don't hear, like before, also what it do when it rev like above 4 or 5 grand, it would just clatter real loud and hit like a rev limiter. But now we're doing none of that. And when I went to, I think I told you this, I think when I went to run the adjustment, like you could adjust the timing on this, compensate it, it couldn't adjust anymore. It's at the maximum level. But the check engine light was on, so it's probably on open loop, defaulted. So maybe that is, I don't know. The Vanos system on these N52s could be freaking terrible, and this one's being terrible. And also another thing, it's got kind of a iffy sensor for the oil, and it's showing now refill with 1 quart of engine oil. This thing's never used oil before. I noticed all of a sudden it kind of started saying that off and on. You let it sit there and idle and it'll be back to normal. I do have a brand new sensor for this thing. I hate to change the oil in this damn thing. I forgot to swap the engine. I don't know, let's see. Well, the problem is now we're about to get hit with some storms. I don't think I have, I might have enough oil here to change this actually. I know I have the filters and everything. That might be what we're gonna have to do here. Well, it's raining, so I think what we're gonna do here, we'll give this engine one more chance. I'm gonna go ahead and, I don't have any oil here for it. I'm gonna run to the store here as soon as this is over, the rain's over. I'm gonna grab some 5W30 for it. 5W30 is actually what it calls for. I think it's what I had. I think it's 5W20 in it. Can't remember. We'll go ahead and replace that oil level sensor. We got the lift. I mean, it's like a 5-minute deal, right? We'll replace that. We'll go ahead and change the oil in it. screw a new filter or put a new filter in it and just see what it does, just in case there's something funky going on, because it kind of did this all at once. It wasn't like it's gradual over a long amount of time. It wasn't like that at all. So I don't know, that sensor is definitely faulty, because I've seen it say low and 5 minutes later say it was full, all the way full. So we have a new OEM sensor for it. We'll swap it all out, be done with it. I did find cylinder heads as cheap as 350 bucks now. They have come down a lot, but we cannot get a pre-2008 one, because we're gonna have the same problem we got right here. So gotta be careful with that. And I do need at least the intake camshaft in it, which is gonna be difficult to find. We're still gonna have to check it before we can put it in, or have them send me pictures so I can buy it. And these N52s are bad about that, right? Especially the earlier ones. And if you run them out of oil, if you run the wrong oil, there's many variables to it. You could definitely damage things pretty fast. So it's gonna be kind of a weird video today, but it's kind of stuff we have to deal with on the daily basis. This car's been on the back burner for a long time. Time to get it fixed, and this fixed too. So that's gonna be it, guys. See you later. Have a good day.